I'm Masha. I love animals and having fun and going on adventures and singing songs and telling stories and spending time with my best friend Bear. What do you like to do? Today, I'm going to tell you lots of stories and we'll sing a bunch of songs. We'll have so much fun, and you'll hear all about my adventures with Bear. Oh, how I love to go visit Bear at his home. One day, I'll take you with me. But for now, let me tell you the story of how Bear and I first met.
Far away, in a little house by the railroad, lives a very restless little girl named Masha. Masha lives in the forest with her pig, goat, chicken, and dog. While she loves to play, her animals don't share her excitement. When they hear her coming, they run and hide. Masha bursts out of her front door, hopping down the stairs inside a tin pail, looking for someone to play with.
Nobody's here. Where are you all?
As Masha's goat trembles while hiding behind a tree, Masha goes looking around the yard for her animal friends. She looks inside the doghouse, but sees nothing and moves on. Had she looked up inside the doghouse, she would have seen her dog hiding from her in the roof. Masha tries looking in the well.
Where did everyone go?
But still doesn't see any of her animals. As Masha stops to think, a butterfly lands right on her nose.
Hello, butterfly.
Masha starts chasing the butterfly past her house into a field of sunflowers and heading deeper and deeper into the forest. In a treehouse in the forest lives Bear. Retired from the circus, Bear is enjoying his peaceful and quiet life. He has many impressive skills, including juggling, unicycling, and magic. On this sunny day, Bear is carrying a large tea dispenser while balancing a teapot, cup, and spoon on his nose. He places the dispenser, teapot, cup, and spoon on a lovely picnic table and pours himself a cup of tea. While drinking his tea, Bear enjoys looking at his garden, which is filled with beehive boxes. Those busy bees are making one of Bear's favorite foods, honey. Bear decides today's a good day to go fishing, so he grabs his pail and fishing rod and heads on down the dirt path. Masha is still trying to catch the butterfly but gets distracted by a frog, then by a squirrel. She races to catch the squirrel, but it runs up a tree and throws pine cones. Masha races behind a tree and sees a rabbit. She's just about to play with the rabbit when something drops out of the sky. Wow, an apple! Masha climbs up the apple tree and starts eating almost every apple in sight. Suddenly, the tree branch Masha's standing on breaks and she tumbles down, 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 bouncing down a hill, rolling straight into Bear's garden and knocking over his bee boxes. Unfazed, Masha is about to take a bite of her last apple when all of a sudden she hears...
Mommy.
The bees start to chase Masha. While running away from them, she knocks over everything in Bear's garden, including the picnic table with his tea service. The bees keep chasing her, so Masha runs into Bear's house and shuts the door.
This is so cool.
Masha is amazed at all the trophies, posters, and pictures of Bear she sees. Masha runs up and stares at her reflection in the shiny silver trophy on the fireplace mantel. Bear is happily returning home from his day of fishing, but when he arrives to his garden, he falls to the ground in total shock. His garden is a complete mess. When he opens his front door, the inside of his home is a complete mess too. Behind a curtain, he sees a shadow bouncing up and down. Bear pulls back the curtain to find Masha bouncing up and down and up and down and up and down on his bed. Masha keeps bouncing on Bear's bed like it's a trampoline until Bear picks her up.
Wait,
Bear growls in an attempt to scare Masha.
And who are you? One more.
Surprised by her reaction, Bear takes Masha and puts her outside of his home and closes the door. But Masha races back into Bear's home to continue jumping on his bed. Annoyed, Bear takes Masha and puts her outside of his home again and closes the door again. But Masha thinks it's a game and races back into Bear's home to continue jumping on his bed. Masha's having so much fun. Bear takes Masha and puts her farther away outside, but she follows him back. He keeps bringing her farther away. She keeps racing back. Bear decides to take her on a bicycle ride further into the forest. Masha is having so much fun riding on the bike and playing with the bicycle bell. After going over several hills, Bear goes deep into the forest and drops Masha off. Bear waves goodbye as he pedals away, not looking where he's going. Bear collides with a tree, ruining his bicycle. Bear sadly walks home carrying his broken bicycle. When he arrives, Bear starts to straighten up the mess. Before he realizes it, day has turned to night. Bear's thoughts drift to Masha standing alone in the forest in the dark.
Hello?
Bear panics and imagines that Masha is surrounded by scary animals.
Oh no!
Bear, holding a lantern, races through the dark forest looking for Masha. He looks here, there, everywhere, but Masha is nowhere to be found. Bear finally arrives at the spot where he dropped Masha off. She's not there. Bear shakes his head as he sadly walks towards home. Walking through his front door, Bear stops, surprised. Who does he see? Masha! She's cleaning up the mess she made. Bear gives Masha a big hug. Realizing how late it is,
I gotta go home.
Bear rushes Masha back to her house and drops her off. Once back home, Bear stares at his bed and wonders. Masha did look like she was having a lot of fun. So Bear decides to try jumping on the bed himself. Bear starts slowly, then bounces faster and faster, and adds a few flips. Bear bounces higher and higher. Bear realizes that jumping on the bed is so much fun. Why didn't he try it sooner?
Bear really should have tried jumping on the bed sooner. It's so much fun. Do you like jumping on the bed? I love telling the story of how Bear and I met. He's been my best friend since that day. I really did love bouncing on Bear's bed. But I didn't like the bees. Bear loves the bees. They make his favorite food, honey. But I prefer jam. Jam. So yummy. And it reminds me of one of my favorite songs. Sing along with me. Got to get the pandemonium, and that means all pans and pots. Clear the way, I need to make room, to make jam and to make lots. What was on the garden patches? What grew on the tree I got? Made from it some mix and matches. Put it all in one big pot. All I care is for some nice zest to the portobello jams. But the juiciest and sweetest will be pine cones and the yams. I'm beginning as I'm looking at the weird brew, I yell. Now I know what's really cooking. I am in a jam as well. I love singing songs, don't you? And eating yummy things. What yummy things do you like to eat? That does sound yummy. Bear likes lots of yummy things. He really likes honey and fish and tea and so many things. He can eat a lot. Bear likes lots of things, but he doesn't really like guests, except me. He likes when I visit him.
Masha's Tales.
Oh, how I love to go visit Bear at his home. I'll take you with me one day. But for now, let me tell you a very scary fairy tale about guests. Once upon a time, there was a girl and her name was Red Riding Hood.
Red Riding Hood.
She used to wear the riding hood at some point, but now she just wore a red hat in the winter and even in the summer. One day, her mother asked her to go visit her sickly grandmother and take her some tasty goodies. So the girl took her basket with the meat pies and went on her way. She was walking along the path in the forest, and the meat pies were smelling so good that the girl said to herself, "I'll just sit nearby and I'll eat one pie." Just then, someone or something rolled by her and then boom and right into the tree. Guess who it was? It was Gingerbread Head. He sat there shaking his head. Well, he was shaking it all over because it was all Gingy had. No legs, no arms. Red Riding Hood picked him up, and Gingerbread Head said just like a human, "Please don't eat me, little girl, and I will sing you a song." "Why would anyone want to eat you? You've been rolling over dirty roads in the forest. I'd better take you to my grandmother. Maybe she'll have some use for you." Red Riding Hood dusted Gingerbread Head off and put him in the basket. Big Bad Wolf, who was hiding in the bush nearby, heard everything. He decided to eat all of them, Hoodie, Granny, and even Dirty Changey. Grandmother was at home in bed, feeling sickly. She was very surprised when someone knocked on her door. "Who's there?" asked Grandmother. "It's your granddaughter, Red Riding Hood. I've come to visit you, Grandmother," roared Big Bad Wolf. "Oh, my poor granddaughter is probably also sick. Her voice is usually so sweet, but now it's so hoarse." That's what Grandmother thought, and then she said, "Just pull the cord by the door, dear girl, and then the door will open." That's what the wolf did. The door opened, and what happened next was terrible. Big Bad Wolf gobbled up Grandmother all at once and spit out her glasses and bonnet. Big Bad Wolf licked his lips and got ready for Red Riding Hood. He pretended to be her sickly grandmother, got in her bed, covered himself with a blanket, put on her bonnet, stuck her glasses on his nose, and then heard the knock on the door. "Who's there?" asked Big Bad Wolf. "It's your granddaughter, Red Riding Hood. I've come to visit you." "Just pull the cord by the door and the door will open," said Big Bad Wolf Grandmother. The girl came in and put the basket with Gingerbread Head on the floor. When she saw her grandmother, she couldn't believe her eyes. The old lady looked really sickening. Her face had gotten all dark and was covered with funny fur. Red Riding Hood sat down on the little chair and said, "Grandmother dear, what happened to you? What big hands you have." "The better to hug you with, my adorable little girl," Big